Possibly the best workflow of the bot. Let's go over the quiz workflow. This flow depends on a table that has many multiple-choice questions and answers. However, that is only the beginning of what this flow does. The first node resets all variables and presents the user with a welcome message. The next node standard 5 generates a random number between the lowest number on the table and the highest number on the table at the beginning of the flow. Here is an example of the execute code card that generates the random number, sets the question to a variable, the answer to a variable, and the previous question to a variable to not repeat questions. Here is a few examples of the questions stored in the table, and the multiple choice answers as well as the correct answer. I did a lot of the work outside of BotPress and imported the CSV. By generating a random number at every entry of this node restricted to 1 to 157, it should always have a record it can check. Back to the flow, the next card is an AI generate text card. The instructions of the prompt are important, and while not suggesting the example as the best practice, the idea is giving the card defined ideas of your expectations. The AI generate text card's response is stored in the variable user.quiz. When passed to the choice card in the next node, the user is presented with the variable user.quiz and the choice of A, B, C, and D. After the user makes a choice, the choice is stored in workflow.choice. The next node contains two expressions that are based on the response stored in workflow.choice. Remember the table had a correct answer? Well, we set it to a variable called user.correctLetter. The expressions in standard 1 will determine if the user's choice variable matches the correct answer variable. If the answer is incorrect, the user is presented with a text box informing them they were incorrect. The bot will ask if they would like to be quizzed with another question. If the user selects yes, the quiz workflow starts at the beginning. If the user selects no, they will exit the flow. If the expression finds the user's input matches the correct answer, it informs the user they are correct. Next, an execute code card stores the value of user.quiz to workflow.pastQ. The get record uses the random number generated way back in the beginning of the flow. The row of data will be stored in variable workflow.getNum. It is important to mention that variable workflow.getNum is an object. The execute code card below it separates the workflow.getNum variable into individual variables. Finally, the data is captured to another table. In this case, this would make the question a searchable part of the knowledge base. I also added a knowledge base of the table history for that to work. This is less of a useful feature as much as proof of concept. The bot could basically learn all the questions and answers on its own by randomly going through all 157 questions and writing them on the table. The user is then prompted the same way as if they got the answer wrong. They will either want to go again, and the quiz workflow will start over, or they will select no and exit the flow. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we hope to see you again, soon.